Hey, I'm John Kramer. It's not Saturday night, but 2 days later, here's my take on Kristen Wiig's job hosting SNL.
SNL Review.
Okay, the reason I'm posting this review so late is because it's taken me 2 days to wrap my head around why I felt so totally bummed out watching the show this week. I mean, it's not that I don't like Kristen Wiig. I loved her in Bridesmaids and I loved her when she was in the cast, but I think Lorne Michaels totally had his head up his ass bringing her back to host when she hasn't even been gone for a full year yet. And on top of that, you'd think that after running SNL for so many years, he'd realize how the formula for the show works. You bring in an outsider to host, throw them into the mix, and see what happens. But Kristen Wiig isn't an outsider, so it felt like they didn't actually have a guest host this week, and it's why none of her stable of characters worked on the show, because she had no one new to play against. So for the most part, the show was boring and predictable from beginning to end, and am I the only fan of the show that saw that bleeding acupuncture scene as a bad ripoff of Dan Aykroyd's Bleeding Julia Child sketch? Or that Anthony Crispino's Secondhand News is a reworked version of Gilda Radner's old Emily Latella bit? In fact, the only really original sketch they did all night was at the bottom of the show when Cecily Strong and Kristen Wiig went on a double date with a couple of fourth graders. That was brilliant, unlike the political cold opener lampooning the House hearings on Benghazi, which left me wondering, who the hell do they think watches this show? If I'm a political junkie and I found that bit boring and stupid, how do you think that sketch played with people who don't have a clue in how what happened in Benghazi and who Daryl Isa is? So this week, I'm only posting one sketch link down below because the rest of the show just wasn't worth your valuable time. Now next week I'll be back with my review of the 38th season finale of SNL with Ben Affleck hosting, unless they phone it in again, and in which case screw you, Lorne Michaels.